JessConstantino, yeah.
His account name was Sean Peter Raul Mendez, which, by the way, is Shawn Mendez's full name. I don't know who would put their full name online, but I guess because his is well known.
Thank you.
This person thought, hey, that's a good way, because you can't just get a Shawn Mendez account. Shawn Mendez has the only Shawn Mendez account. So unless you have like a number behind it, which is what I found other imposters do, is they have like, one of them that I'm talking to right now is Shawn Mendez 12,481, because you can't just get, Shawn Mendez has Shawn Mendez account. That's his official account, his blue checkmarked verified Instagram account is Shawn Mendez. And there's probably no other way you can get a Shawn Mendez account because he has it. So if you want a Shawn Mendez account, you have to put a number behind it. That's why my Instagram is JessConstantino123, because there's apparently another JessConstantino on there. Anyways, that being said, this was Sean Peter Raul Mendez. Now, he had a really elaborate scheme. He would talk to you for a couple weeks, just chit chat and pretend like he was getting to know me. And I gave him a few personal details. I did not give him very much. I never give any of these people very many personal details. But I did tell him just a little bit about me, just things that everybody on my YouTube channel knows anyway. So why not tell him? But I gave him a few personal details. I didn't give him very much. And after a couple weeks of talking to him, and he was a nice guy, like, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but he was nice. And after a couple weeks of talking to him,
he says,
did you get a code so you can talk to me for 3 days? And I'm going, what do you mean? And he says, oh, well, you have to email my management company. They'll give you a code and you can talk to me for 3 days for free. And that right there is my first, like, warning sign, warning sign.
Oh no!
So I said, okay, well, how do I email your management team? He gives me this email address, and I think it was like Shawn Mendez Management or something like that, which, by the way, is not Shawn Mendez's management email address, because A, I've looked it up, and B, Shawn Mendez's management manages several people, not just Shawn Mendez. So they're not just gonna be like, hey, we're exclusively Shawn Mendez's management team. That's not how it works. So anyways, I emailed these people, which I'm assuming is the same person that is Shawn Mendez, Sean Peter Raul Mendez. But I emailed these people, and they gave me this chat code to chat with Shawn Mendez.
Really?
Their public figure is what they called him. You can chat with our public figure for free for 3 days. So I give this Sean Peter Raul Mendez a chat code, and he was like, cool. And so, like, he chatted with me for 3 more days. But in order to continue chatting with him, I had to purchase a VIP package. So back to the email I go, and I'm like, how do I get a VIP package? Just because I was curious what they were wanting me to buy. And this VIP package, it turned out they said that you can get meet and greets with Shawn Mendez, and you can have access to talk to him for free. Now, to talk to him for free, you had to do it on the Sean Peter Raul Mendez account. You couldn't talk to him on his blue verified account. And I'm sorry, but if you're going to talk to Shawn Mendez, if I'm going to talk to Shawn Mendez, I want it to be on the blue verified account. That's probably the only way that I will know for sure that I'm actually talking to Shawn Mendez. But you can't talk to him on that. You have to talk to him on the fake account, which to me tells me it's fake, because if it was the real Shawn Mendez, you'd have access to the real Shawn Mendez account. None of these people have access to the real Shawn Mendez account. So that was my first clue. Well, or maybe my 5th clue. I don't know which one. Also, by the way, on the Instagram, when I went to follow this account, it came up with account details. It said that his account was made in Nigeria, and it was created that year. Those are 2 very important details, because if it's coming from Nigeria, nobody in Shawn Mendes's team lives in Nigeria. They all live in Los Angeles, California.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Los Angeles, California.
He might have team members in Toronto, Canada, but he has no team members in Nigeria. So that's the first red flag.
Oh no!
And the second is that it was created, well, this was 2025, but it was created in 2025. Again, these are scam accounts, people that have created accounts just to try to scam other people. Right, going back to the VIP package. So the VIP package wanted me to buy, I think it was like $500 for a VIP package, and I could be getting it wrong because this was months and months ago, but it offered meet and greets with Shawn Mendes. Now, it just so happened that like a month before that, I was looking up concert tickets for Shawn Mendes. Because a friend and I wanted to go see his concerts, because I've actually never been to one of his concerts and I wanted to go. So I was looking up concert tickets for Cooper and me and my friend to all go see Shawn Mendes. And on the website, on his actual official website for Shawn Mendes tours, it says VIP packages available. So because I'm a curious person, I looked up what the VIP packages were. And on the VIP packages, it says all VIP packages include, I'm assuming they're like the better seats of the venues, but it didn't exclusively say that. But I think you could buy VIP packages with other tickets. It just depended. I don't remember how it worked anymore, but it said that all VIP packages include autographed merchandise. No VIP packages include meet and greets. Because Shawn Mendes has become too popular, he doesn't do meet and greets anymore. So about a month later, after looking up these concert tickets, when this person was offering me a VIP package, it said I could have meets and greets with him. And guess what? I knew that he didn't do meets and greets anymore because he's become too popular. So that was a fake. Somebody's trying to get me to buy $500, and they're probably just going to take my money and run, and you're not going to get anything from it. Or you'll get like a little knickknack. I highly doubt they'll even send you a knickknack, honestly. It probably is just full-on scam. So if somebody's trying to get you to give them money, don't fall for it. Never fall for it. If somebody's trying to get you to give them personal information, again, don't fall for it. So this Karen Mendez that I was talking to that offered me a chance to meet her son, she wanted my phone number and I wouldn't give it to her. I said, if Shawn Mendes messages me from his Blue verified account, I will give him my phone number. And she says, well, we don't have access to that because it's ran by somebody else and we don't have access to it. Oh, so Shawn Mendes doesn't have access to his own account that he created. And by the way, that's the account he became famous on when he was 16, but he doesn't have access to it. He did when he was 16, but not anymore, apparently. Yeah, I'm not buying that either. So he might have a social media manager. I really do believe he has a social media manager because most people that are celebrities, even I have a social media manager. So I'm assuming he has a social media manager. And that could be true, but I still have access to my accounts. I still can get on there and message people and post things and do whatever I want. It's still my account. I still have access to it. I just have somebody that helps me run it. So yeah, I'm not buying that either. That was pretty much as far as that conversation with Karen Mendez went. She then, when I told her I wouldn't give her my phone number, she told me I could message her on WhatsApp. And she gave me a WhatsApp phone number. I did not message her on WhatsApp because I was over it by then. At the same time, I was talking to somebody that was like it said Shawn Mendes lovers. This one was really great. This is actually the whole reason I decided to re-record this video, is because of Shawn Mendes lovers. So I don't know why this person thought that anybody would think that a Shawn Mendes lover is actually Shawn Mendes, but this person was trying to convince me he was Shawn Mendes. And I know it was a he this time because I talked to him on the phone. So he starts out on Instagram, and shortly after, and his English was decent. Like he also was awake around the same time I was. So I was like, okay. But the account name, I never thought it was really somebody faking to be Shawn Mendes. I thought it was a fan, honestly. And I was just like, oh, cool. I'd love to talk to another fan. I have no problem with that. But they transferred our conversation pretty quickly from Instagram to Telegram. Which I had no problem with. I talked to them on Telegram. And when I started talking to them on Telegram, I just thought I was talking to a fan. I didn't think specifically, oh, hey, I'm talking to a Shawn Mendes imposter. I honestly just thought it was a fan. And then as I started talking to them on Telegram, I realized they were trying to scam me. So I was talking to them on Telegram, and when I talked to them on Telegram, they asked me for a selfie, and I said, you give me a selfie and I'll give you one of me, and which I never did, by the way. But they sent me a picture of Shawn Mendes as if they were Shawn Mendes. And then I didn't talk to them for a day or two. I was busy, and they called me, and they kept calling me, and they called me, and they called me, and they called me, and I didn't answer. And after like the third or fourth time, I was like, oh, well, if they want to talk to me, I'll call them. So I called them back because I wanted to know who it was. And when I called them, they didn't answer the phone. And they started messaging after I called them. They're like, oh, you're here, blah, blah, blah. And they started trying to talk to me again on Messenger, on the Telegram Messenger. I realized at that point that Telegram wasn't working with my accessibility, and I was having a hard time using voiceover with Telegram. So I said, listen, I'm blind and I can't see this conversation. It would be much easier for me to talk to you over the phone or on Instagram, because Instagram works with my accessibility. And that was when they called me. And when they called me, I had a short conversation with them, and they asked me a couple questions about myself, which again, I felt comfortable answering because it was mostly stuff I told people online, such as I have a kid and that kind of stuff. But then I said, what about you? And he said, oh, I'm Shawn Mendes. And I said, you're Shawn Mendes. He said, yeah, I'm Shawn Mendes. I said, no, you're not. He said, yeah, I'm Shawn Mendes. I said, no, you're not. He said, yeah, I'm Shawn Mendes. I said, no, you're not. And I hung up on him. And now, I've heard Shawn Mendes do interviews. I've heard him speak. He has a song, Understand, I believe is the title of it, where he actually has a monologue at the end of Understand, which is him talking.
Knowingly.
Really?
Nah, I know.
It's very clear to hear his voice. And this person sounded nothing like him. He had a nice voice, I'll give him that, but he sounded nothing like Shawn Mendes. He also had a very thick accent. And again, Shawn Mendes is Canadian. He might have a Canadian accent where he says A at the end of his word, but he doesn't have a Hispanic or another kind of accent. And I am not an accent person. I'm not a linguist, so I don't know what kind of accents each different country has. But it definitely was not a native English speaker. And Shawn Mendes is. So that was how I knew that it was definitely not Shawn Mendes. I'm very good with voices. I may be blind, but I'm very good with voices. So I could tell right away that it was not Shawn Mendes. Anyways, this is getting long again. But my point with this is I want you guys to be extremely careful. There are a lot of fraudulent accounts out there that are being created. Oh, and by the way, the Karen Mendes account, within a couple weeks, it was disabled. And that's also a clue of how you can tell if a person is an imposter or not, is their accounts don't stay on long. So watch out for people that are in different time zones than what Shawn Mendes should be in, or what the celebrity you're trying to find if it's an imposter, what time zone they should be in. That's a good way to figure it out if their schedule lines up with the celebrity in question. So if they're trying to pretend to be Shawn Mendes? Does their schedule line up with Shawn Mendes' schedule? You can tell from Shawn Mendes' account where he is. So like on his Instagram, that he posts things from like Brazil, he's posted things from LA, he posts things from wherever he is. And you can tell sort of by following him where he's at in the world. So you should be able to see what his time zone is, which should give you an idea of when he's going to sleep, when he's waking up. It may not be exact, but you're going to know that he's going to be sleeping at a certain time and awake at a certain time.
To be continued. Coming soon.
Recently talking to a lead baker, and they called me a bunch of times to agree to want to meet Shawn Mendes.
Blind Pineapple Production.